The topic I'm going to speak to you about is something which requires to be addressed as many places in India as possible, because in it is embedded a crucial question of India's existence. Ever since Macaulay and the history written by Max Muller and other historians signed up by the East India Company, there has been a complete distortion of our history. So much so that we don't even know what is the identity of India. So many of the misconceptions that you have today are because of this lack of a proper understanding of the true history of India. Why is all this being fed into our brain? There's a misconception today that any foreigner came to India, he beat us up and took over this country because of divisions in our country. But the truth is quite different. In fact, I didn't even myself realize it, because I also was brought up in a convent school, so these history books were used to teach that. Till when I started teaching at Harvard, I had a Saudi Arabian student. He told me whether he could meet me after class. I said, of course. So when I came out of the classroom, he was there. He said, my colleagues in the university in Dharma, in Saudi Arabia, are doing a research project on which they wanted some inputs from you. I said, what is it? He said, we are investigating the question, how is it that India, even today, is 80% Hindu? Well, I said, I am not able to understand the significance of this question. So he said, see, we are studying Islamic history, and we find that Persia was ruled by Zoroastrians, and Islamic forces invaded Persia, conquered it, and having conquered it within 15 years by their usual method of forcible conversions, they converted within 15 years 100% of Persia to Islamic religion. Today, Persia is called Iran. Iran is an Islamic country. Then they went neighboring to Mesopotamia, Babylon, which is now called Iraq. In 17 years, they converted it into 100% Muslim. Then they went to Egypt, and they converted in 21 years Egypt into 100% Muslim. Even Christians went to Europe, and 50 years they converted Europe to 100% Christian. But in your country, the Muslims ruled for 800 years, Christians ruled for 200 years, and still you're 80% of Hindu. How is that possible? Then you start looking deeper, and you find there was never a year when some part of India was in rebellion. Whether it was Rana Pratap, who fought, he did win, but he fought and lost everything. Same thing with Shivaji, he fought and won, he was victorious. In Karnataka, near Bijapur, there is a place called Hampi. There the Shankaracharya of Sringeri, the descendant of the first, the nominee of the first Shankaracharya, the first Shankaracharya, by the way, was Mandana Mishra, whom Shankaracharya converted. He converted him and made him the first Shankaracharya of Sringeri. There the Sringeri Acharya found two young boys who had been converted to Islam. Islam, reconverted them to Hindu, and made them put their hand on a rock and said, from here will start an empire for the renaissance of Hinduism. And the Vijayanagara Empire rose from that rock. And it spread right up to Bengal. It covered more territory than the Mughal Empire ever covered. It lasted 300 years. How much what was the period from Akbar to Aurangzeb, the core period of Mughal rule? 150 years. This is 300 years. And that is only 150 years. And less territory covered, ruling over less territory. And yet you open your history books, what will you see? You will see chapter after chapter on one Mughal emperor to another Mughal emperor. Akbar to Jahangir to Shah Jahan to Aurangzeb to Shah Alam. But for Vijayanagara Empire, one paragraph. There was an empire for Vijayanagara Empire in South India. Not even there was a Bijapur. This is the way your history has been dished out to you from Macaulay's times. And therefore a large amount of misconceptions arise.